Hi, I thought I'd do a quick update video as it's been some time since I've done one. Primarily I've been working on the 105. Deckling's now finished. It's had a gloss coat, it's had a floory dark dirt wash, although obviously not being recessed panel lines, although some of the panel lines are recessed for the flaps here, so that's taken the wash quite well. Pilots are in, you can probably see, and painted, and I've given it a flat coat on top. I need to do a flat coat underneath, but I'll wait till I've finished and put the ordnance on. It's really just now bolting out the last few bits and pieces. The wheels are on. We've got the sort of engine at the back all done, chromed up. Looking pretty good so far. Hopefully we're nearly there. It's really just the last few little bits and pieces now. So that's kind of that. I've kind of been working on a couple of other small projects. Basically, I've started the Airfix Hawk Hurricane 1/72 scale. The main reason for doing this was I wanted to try out these new Attacker paints, which I've got these. I've also actually got a Cold War set, and I've got the War at Sea because I've got a couple of suitable models for that. Here's the. I'll show you the build. I mean, the kit's a nice little kit. It goes together really well. Doesn't need a lot of filler. So it's a good, Airfix done a good job on this. The panel lines aren't quite as deep as some of their earlier sort of new tooling. It's a little bit more subtle. It's a good kit. Recommend it for anybody who's thinking about buying it. The paints. I started with the black and the white, which were actually out of the white is actually an Insignia white out of the War at Sea kit, and the black was an actual night black out of the Cold War set. They went on quite well, although I did find I've tried a couple of thinners so far. Where are we? I can't see it at the moment, but the UMP airbrush thinner was the first one I tried. I actually tried that with the interior green inside. But I did find it, although it initially sprayed and seemed quite good, it really clogged up the airbrush. I had to actually strip the whole airbrush down and clean it, and it had kind of gone all sort of dried and clogged into the airbrush. So I then tried the Revell airbrush thinners on the on the black and white, and that seemed to actually work a bit better. Although I had a bit of tip drying on the needle, it didn't seem to clog up the airbrush in the same way. So I definitely would. Unfortunately, I can't really recommend this with these paints. Don't get me wrong, it's a good thinner. I use it all the time in Tamiya paints, and frankly, I think it's actually, I find it better than the X20A, Tamiya's own thinner. I prefer that for Tamiya paints, but it just doesn't seem to work quite so well with these. And I've also noticed I've got some of these, I may have mentioned previously, some of the AK paints, it doesn't seem to work as well with these. Again, you tend to get a bit of clogging. I do find the Revell paint thinner works really well with these, and reasonably well with the Attacker. I'm probably going to play around a bit more with the thinners. Probably try a bit of water, distilled water. Got some distilled water because I've heard that some people find it works actually fine with water. I've also got some flow improver, some of the Windsor and Newton flow improver. So I'll probably try a bit of that maybe with the water thinners, the distilled water, and see if that's a better thinner. When I came to do the actual brown, it's a great colour. I liked it. I found it quite difficult to get the right thinner ratio because the paint seems quite thick. Compared to things like the Model Air, it seems quite thick paint. So you tend to put more thinners, but I found I had to do 2 or 3 coats. But the colour is good. I liked the colour. The green I don't know what I did wrong, or whether I was just having a bad day, but I could not seem to get the right consistency, because I wanted to I actually airbrushed freehand the green. In the end, I had to go back to the Model Air for that one. Again, we'll play around with that a bit more another day, see if we can't get a better result out of it. But generally, the paint's okay. This has had a coat of clear ready for deckling. That's why it's quite so glossy. In many ways, I found these paints not dissimilar to the AK, in that they're almost a slightly satin finish. They're not what I would call true matte, and they're quite clearly not gloss. So a bit more experimenting. I think the trick with these will be to get the right thinner and the right ratio. As I say, they're quite thick compared to say Model Air, so there's definitely going to be a little bit of thinning needed. You can't brush them. You can't spray them straight out the airbrush. It just doesn't work. Anything else to update you with? I think that's it. Oh no, yes, there is one other thing that I've been working on. The F-86 that I did a box review some time ago, I kind of got together, mainly because the deckling on the 105 was driving me a bit nuts, so I thought I'm going to start with something else. Basically, it's primed, pretty much ready for the metal. It's an all metal finish, so I'm going to be playing around. There's a bit of cleaning off. I'm going to be playing around probably with some of the true metal paints from AK. I've got a variety of shades there. So we're going to give those a go on this one. Again, it was really to try those paints and see what they were going to be like. But also, I have to say again, for the age of the kit, it's an excellent kit. It goes together really, really well. No real dramas. Not a little bit of thinner. A little bit of filler along the top here. I'm probably going to have to try and clean up, because the recessing panel lines are a bit softer, and they've kind of got lost with the sanding, so I'm probably going to have to just do a little bit of rescribing there. And again, a little bit of thinner was used along the back here, but I had to do a little bit more cleanup here. I have started to scrub the panel lines on this one, but I mean, you know, again, it's a good kit for the money. I picked it up at eBay, which is nice. I don't think it's in production anymore, but there's some really nice fine detail, and it fits together well. So it's a good kit. I may actually do this in flight with the pilot. So I'll probably need. That's assuming that's an option. I can't remember if that was an option in the instructions now. Although it seems a shame, because there's actually a surprising amount of detail in these wheel wells. So I don't know, we'll see. Unfortunately, I'm running out of room in my cabinet, so I've got to try and I've got to either make some room, or I'm going to have to start doing them in flight, suspending them from the ceiling or something. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll give you an update on that hopefully soon, once the metal's down, and see how we get on with that. I think for the minute that's it. Hopefully I'll get this. I'm hoping to try and get this finished over the weekend, the 105, so I can really crack on with some other stuff. Probably get the deckling done on the Hurricane. This is going to be a really quick build. Just really, as I say, was more of a test for these paints. Bit of fun, bit of light relief from this, the deckling on this one. And then I'm going to really plan. The plan then is to crack on with what I started actually before Christmas. I started on the JU88. This is the Revell 132nd kit. Going together quite well so far. Some really nice detail in there. I did pick up the photo etch for this. I'll do a more detailed video on this one once I've finished the 105 and the Hurricane, and we'll crack back on with this. Main reason for stopping was I wanted to get some seats. I wasn't particularly happy with the seats that come with it, although they're okay. I managed to get a nice resin seat pack which came with seat belts. And also it actually comes through a decor. You can't see in this part, but there's a wooden flooring. It actually comes with a decor for the wood flooring. Which is probably a bit lazy. You know, I've got various oil paints, I probably could do a wood flooring, but the fact that it came with it, I'll probably use it. But as I say, I'll do some more in depth in that on that one as we go along. Okay, well I think that's it for the minute. Thanks for watching. I will see you soon. Cheers.